Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. It's been a while since we've done one of these and I'm really excited about it. Get it? Because we're talking about snakes and they hiss. Oh man, right? Okay, if you enjoy casual deck techs and you want to see more of them, leave a comment below with whatever archetype you want to see, and don't forget to hit that like button. Without it, what are we really? Yeah, just think about it. Snake Tribal is a strategy that can only exist thanks to Kamigawa block and all of its ridiculous craziness and epic failure. It did create a few decent tribes, snakes arguably front and center. This deck is designed to play high quality snake creatures and then overwhelm your opponent with your constricting board position. As always, we'll begin with the land base. Because we're running two colors, it's important to, have both colors. We're running playsets of both Temple of Mystery and Hinterland Harbor. Additional non-basics are 2 Oran-Rief the Vastwood and 1 Pendelhaven. We're running these because we really have no reason not to. Pendelhaven is great for making your 1/1 snakes into decently sized threats, and Oran-Rief is just straight up value. We had the wiggle room, so we went with it. Of course, Pendelhaven is a bit expensive, and if you can't afford one, that's perfectly fine. The deck works without it. The rest of the lands are just 8 forests and 3 islands, 22 lands in total. Our only 1-mana creature in the deck is Sakura-Tribe Scout. We're running 3 of her. In addition to being a snake, which is always valuable, she can super ramp us if we have extra lands in hand. This is especially important since we're looking to increase our board presence as quickly as possible. Relatively simple card, but very useful. Next up are our 2-drop creatures. One of the reasons we're playing blue is because we get to run a playset of Coiling Oracle. While it is a 1/1 for 2, we either get a free land in play or we draw a card. Both of those are fantastic and well worth it. Plus, it's a snake, always where we want to be. Our other 2-drop is a pair of Sakura-Tribe Elder. An argument could be made to run more of these, but 2 seem to function alright. Once again, we don't care about the low power and toughness because we're just going to sack the Elder anyways to go get a land. This would be in the mono green version as well, but there's added benefit here since we could use it to get our blue mana if we really need it. 3 mana is where we really get slithering. 3 Kashi-Tribe Elite are an auto-include as far as I'm concerned. A 2/3 that's going to protect our legendary creatures that you'll see in a minute, and when it deals combat damage to a creature, that creature is out of commission for at least a turn. Nice tempo swing for you, and a great ability to have considering we're running 4 legendary snakes. An all-star of the deck, Ohran Viper, is an easy playset. 3 mana is a steal for this creature. The 1 power is irrelevant because of the abilities. It either destroys a creature in combat or it draws you a card. Both of those are great in any situation, to be honest. A versatile creature with decently high toughness and 2 abilities that make it dangerous. We're all in. Speaking of all in, 3 Winged Coatl are another reason why we're running blue. The ability to flash in a Death Touch blocker is dangerous to say the least. We don't have much in the way of removal, and by much, I mean we don't have any at all. Winged Coatl is our removal. They attack, you flash it in, and boom, whatever it blocks is super dead. You also don't care about losing the Coatl since its only real purpose in the deck is to flash in and then die immediately. Well worth inclusion. On to the 4-drops, we'll begin with Mystic Snake, 2 of them. This is the last blue card in the deck, and most of the time it'll end up being the game changer. Not many players are going to expect counter spells in the Snake Tribal deck. Even if they see you're playing green-blue, they'll think it's for the Coiling Oracle or Lore Scale Coatl, a card we're not even playing. Either way, no one is going to play around Mystic Snake. If they do, that means they aren't committing more to the board and the snake has done its job anyways. Speaking of jobs, Patagia Viper has 1 job: be the most broken card in the deck. For 4 mana, you're getting a 2/1 flyer and 2 1/1s, all snakes, for 4 mana. You will always play this with blue mana, so the value is unreal. One of the bomb cards in the strategy, and that's why we're running 3. It would be 4, but the card is expensive and our curve is a little high already. Easily the best value creature in the deck though, by far. As far as creatures are concerned, all we have left are our Legendaries, 5 in total. 4 of them are snakes. We'll begin with 2 Seshiro the Anointed. Easily the best snake creature for this deck. His super anthem ability is bonkers and his second ability is game breaking. Seshiro is one of those creatures that wins the game if it isn't destroyed immediately. All of your other snakes are huge, and they draw you cards when they get through. It's everything you could want in this deck, but it is legendary and 6 mana, so we're keeping him at 2. Next, we have 1 Sachi, Daughter of Seshiro. 4 mana for a 1/3 isn't too exciting, but buffing our snake's toughness makes it well worth it. I don't want to lose to random Scouring Sands abilities or opposing 1-power creatures. Sachi gives our reptilian friends some much-needed backbone. The last snake legend we're running is a 1 of Shisato, Whispering Hunter. You do have to sacrifice a snake at the beginning of your upkeep, but when he deals combat damage to a player, they don't get an untap step. That's hilarious and stupidly powerful. We're only running one because of his obvious drawback and very specific type of value, but don't worry, we have ways to get Shisato when we need him. The last creature in the deck is a 1-of Patron of the Orochi. It is super expensive but has Snake Offering, which means you can play this as an instant, sacrifice a snake, and then pay the difference in mana cost between the two. If you do, you get your giant 7/7 Spirit into play whenever you want, and its ability is hilariously busted. Most players forgot this card even existed, and it will take them by surprise guaranteed. Enjoy watching your opponents read this card every time you play it. Now that the 29 creatures are out of the way, let's talk spells. The deck runs 9 non-creature spells. 3 of them are Sosuke summons. Easily one of the best cards in the deck. This guarantees you'll have creatures on the board at all times. Play a snake, you get it back, cast it again, play another snake, the cycle continues. This card never really goes away. Once you have it in your hand, it's like having a source for more snakes anytime you need it forever until the end of time ever. You may have noticed that we're running 3 1-of legendaries in the deck and then just 2 copies of our best legendary. It's because we have time of need. 2 mana to tutor up a legendary creature. This effectively gives us multiples of each legendary. We need Shisato? We get him. Need the Patron? No problem. You'll end up using this to get Seshiro most of the time since he's the bomb finisher of the deck, but if you need one of the others, time of need is stupidly underrated and great in this strategy. The last non-creature, non-land card in the deck is Obelisk of Urd, and we're running 3 of them. This is simply the best Anthem effect for a tribal deck right now, especially one that creates tokens like ours does. Getting this out on turn 4 isn't that difficult. Even if you can't, it's great at any point in the game, and Convoke makes it cost a laughable 1 or 2 mana most of the time. Giving all your snakes +2/+2 and this survives wrath effects, yeah, we'll take 3 and be happy. Now that we know the entire deck, let's review. You drop your early tempo gainers like Sakura-Tribe Scout and Coiling Oracle along with color fixer Sakura-Tribe Elder, then just pump out quality snakes. This tribal deck is a bit slower than some others, but it makes up for it with the high individual creature quality. While most tribes flood the board with anything that has the relevant creature type, there are many snakes to choose from. Cards like Ohran Viper and Patagia Viper slow the clock down on your side, but at a great reward for you. Once the mid-game rolls around, you'll be the player with buffed up Kashi-Tribe Elites while your opponent just durdles around with whatever they're playing. As long as they don't have board wipes, you're golden. Even if they do, Mystic Snake. There are some alterations you can make if you don't like the deck the way it is now. You can cut out your top end and replace them with the much faster River Boa and Mire Boa. Both are great for combat and are much better in a faster version of the strategy. Also, if you're in a multiplayer game and the game is going to go long, Orochi Hatchery and Hooded Hydra are both excellent additions. No one remembers Hooded Hydra's a snake, but yeah, it is. If you just love the snake deck and want to upgrade it into something a bit more nasty, here are some higher priced additions. Lotus Cobra into fetch lands is disgusting. If you have both of those on hand, go nuts. The explosiveness is unmatched. Also, Eldrazi Monument is just a supercharged Obelisk of Urd, and with your summons, you should be able to pay the upkeep cost pretty easily. Lastly, this isn't really a financial upgrade, but I know some players like running Brainstorm in literally every blue deck known to man, so if you're one of those people, I won't stop you. Just account for that in your mana base. I think that brings us to the end. What do you think? Do you like, don't like, afraid of snakes? I am. I'm deathly afraid of snakes. Real snakes, no, like this. Not these snakes. These don't seem so bad. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Snakes are terrifying. Okay, just death tubes. Right, let me know what you think in the comments and any additions you would make. I would love to hear about. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.